Welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Nerd. We have a very special episode here for you on YouTube where we are going to be playing an extended cut of all of our interviews from the Huntsville Comic Expo 2023. So we had the pleasure, for the first time ever, bringing Eat, Sleep, Nerd to you in person, live in Huntsville at this year's Comic Expo. We had an awesome microphone, we had some cameras, we interviewed random people that were not prepared for the questions that we had to ask.
We also were not prepared to ask the questions.
That is an accurate statement.
Yes.
But we had a great time. We have already posted a little mashup compilation video that was mostly a blooper reel of making fun of Jason. You can find that on our YouTube channel. It's labeled, I think, We Take Over Huntsville Expo 2023. You can go find that on our YouTube channel. But this video is all about the full-length interviews with all these awesome people that we met at this expo. We had some celebrities. We had some awesome cosplayers. We had some artists, photographers, you name it. We interviewed them. I say we. Jason interviewed them.
And I held the camera.
He did. Christian held the camera.
Well,
I wasn't even there for most of this. But
right. and Josh and Christian held the camera. Cory helped with the third day, and it was pretty much he had this look about him like, oh my god, I can't believe I wasn't here for the first 2 days. Because
was that my look?
It really was.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow. It was like, yeah. Well, not only that, but it was more like they're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. They're doing it wrong. That's more what I was like, oh, he's not happy.
So I will say, we went into this with no preparation whatsoever because we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into.
Right.
But now we have a good idea.
Yes.
But we'll save that conversation for the end of this episode. What we really want to do is highlight all of these awesome people that we talked to. And I think it was maybe a dozen that we're going to include in this full extended cut, maybe somewhere around there. But Jason, tell me a little bit more about who we're going to be talking to.
So we, as Cory just said, we probably got about a dozen people that we talked to. And again, it was a mix of the vendors, attendees, the guests. Some of them you've heard of. Some of them are more of local celebrities in Huntsville. And then we have some cosplayers that did really great with their costumes. We talked with the Huntsville 501st Legion. Anybody who knows Star Wars and the fan base, every area's got a 501st somewhere. So nice. I think that's the case. So we talked to two of the members from the Huntsville 501st. We also talked to Shiana. We also talked with Shiana. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's so hard. I used to work with this person, and I still can't say her name right. But she runs Momo Clicks Photography, and she actually specializes in photography for cosplay. So she was there.
She actually took our photos.
Right? Yeah, she took. Yeah, our new photos that are up. She took those photos.
Does a great work. I love that.
Yeah, this is another photographer. So nice.
I know. I feel like we were kind of cheating on you.
Yeah,
I mean. Sometimes you just don't want to do it all the time.
Okay,
good.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Good. Glad you're on the same page. All right.
Okay, moving on. All right. We also talked to a really cool vendor, JC, and he makes helmets that are sci-fi fantasy based, and that's Galactic Props, and that's JC. So he was really cool to talk to.
And I keep interrupting you.
It's fine. No, please.
No, we will be linking all of these people
yes.
in their socials, for which socials they have in the show notes. The description of this video, they'll all be there. So all these people that he's mentioning, you can find them in their awesome work, whatever they're doing, in the description of this video.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that we wanted to do, is that we wanted to make sure that we got their names out there, and so that people can see all the really creative people that are part of these exhibitions, these expos, and these conventions. We also, of course, we talked to Omid Abtahi from the Mandalorian. Super great guy to talk to. I spoke with him several times during the week, or during the weekend, and he actually remembered me from the first day that I talked to him. 2 days later, and he's like, "Oh, hey!" And he didn't remember my name, which was fine considering how many people he talked to. But he absolutely remembered talking to me, so that was really.
And
neat.
I feel bad because it kind of dogged on his appearance in the Mandalorian a little bit. Not him specifically, but
right.
the episode that he was really highlighted on.
I definitely talked to Josh about that. It was like, you're gonna meet him and talk to him about how he wasted like 50 minutes of our lives during his episode.
And I would like to go on record. I said that I liked that episode.
It was a good episode.
Yeah, it's very.
And
I
he
liked
was
it.
awesome.
Right.
But
And we did talk and we had in one of our in the episode we talked about his glasses because he was the only person that had glasses in the Star Wars universe. And we brought that up to Omid, and he goes, "Yeah, we actually talked about that, and we were trying to figure out the best way to do the glasses." So that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then we talked to Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran from the Clerks, the View Askew universe, which
Kevin Smith films,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
Those guys were hilarious.
They were hilarious.
Yeah.
So much fun. Both of them and Omid, I seriously feel like I could just sit down and have a beer or a drink and talk with them and hang out.
Yeah.
They were seriously down to earth and really great people.
Yeah.
So anyway, so many others, and we're going to go ahead and just start laying into the interviews now.
All right, I'm Jason with ESN. Today we are here with Shiana, who also goes by Momo. And Momo has an interesting meaning here. Apparently it is from another language, which I wasn't familiar with. And she does photography with Momo Clicks. Tell us about Momo Clicks and how you choose that name.
So Momo's from an actual video game tag that I used to have, but it means peaches, which is like MomoCon is in Georgia, peaches. But so I do cosplay photography and digital editing, adding effects to that kind of thing. I have a degree in it, so yeah, I have a degree in digital image illustrations and digital photography. So I just travel to cons and take cool pictures and add super awesome effects to them.
When did you get started in this particular niche of photography, and what brought you to that?
So I actually originally got started in forensics photography, and you meet a lot of interesting people in that, but they kind of canceled the classes at the college I took, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something a little more fun. So my friend was like, why don't you do cosplay? That's fun. And that's how I got into it. Like, he literally just took to a con and was like, go ask them for pictures. So that's what I did.
Now, I've seen you online with your Momo Clicks, and your schedule gets filled up pretty quickly to get those photography sessions set up.
Yeah.
When did that really start becoming a business or something that you felt was something that you could do sustainably?
So before I even started charging, I had already tried to figure out what I was doing, took tons of pictures of people, edited them, found what my niche was with that, and then after posting a lot for a year, showing everybody what I could do, the moment I started charging, everybody just started booking like crazy. And over the years, because of how many people book, I've slowly gotten to raise my prices up more and more, where I feel comfortable with the time and the style that I do. So it's been nice.
My guess is you've had an opportunity to meet some amazing people, some amazing guests,
Yes.
some amazing cosplayers. What would you pull out as one of your most favorite experiences while doing your photography?
Oh my goodness. While doing my photography, honestly, it's not really even the guest that is my favorite experiences. There's so many people, I'll be shooting and someone will recognize me and be like, you're Momo, I love your work. And I'm just like, every time someone says that, I just get chill bumps and they're just like, oh, you seen my stuff? I'm so excited. So that's honestly the best part. Going to cons and being a part of it and helping and meeting guests is so neat, but passing someone and then being like, I follow your work. Your work is awesome is worlds above meeting guests, for me anyways.
I get that. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. Yeah, it's amazing. If you want to check out her site, it is Momo Clicks. We'll go ahead and make sure that we link everything for this podcast and on our pages. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, good afternoon. We're walking around the Huntsville Comic Expo, and yesterday we met this really awesome vendor named JC, and he has his own kind of artistic spin on a popular, I would say, feature, a popular accessory. Yeah, accessory.
Fandom loved by everyone, fandom based, accessories for cosplay or, things you want to just put on the shelf.
So before we before we actually start getting into the cost of these things, wait till the last part here. Tell us how you got started into making these helmets and what got you interested.
So years ago, we're talking about 12 years ago, I happened to cosplay as the Green Lantern, John Stewart, and I did a Captain America. And I'm walking in the con, and man, I'm telling you, it was pretty awesome. People loved, they've never seen the work and the quality that I brought to the table. And I had people, hey man, where'd you make that shield? Yeah, I just made it. I have a friend, So I made the shield, made the helmet, worked out pretty good. Did a Green Lantern ring and had a seamstress do my suit for me. And I basically modeled this thing back when they called it costuming, not cosplay. And man, after that, it kind of, honestly, it took off from there. People were wanting the shield. People were wanting the Green Lantern ring. People wanted me to make helmets for them because I had this gift and I loved doing it. And then I just went in and quit my job and started doing this.
Wow, so you're really committed to this kind of work that you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm really committed. I'm nothing against Starbucks, but I wasn't making much as a botarista selling Starbucks. And then I did some stripping on the side. I'm just kidding, fans. I don't strip. I never. No,
we're gonna have to edit that. This is for family.
Yeah, I was a paint stripper for a body shop. Yeah. So.
Right. And those tassels are for curtains. Now. So as we look around, we have all sorts of different helmets. You have clone troopers, stormtroopers, you have droid helmets. You have helmets that are not even from Star Wars, Warhammer, even other movies such as Gladiator, and Halo even, yeah. So which one is right now of your favorite of these groups of universes, which one's your favorite universe to kind of craft these helmets into right now?
Okay, so that's a huge question because favorites mean that I have a select one or two that I like to do. So what I love to do is everything. And so the more I learn from the people that come to my booth and say, hey, you need to try this if this is in Elden Ring, or you need to try this because this is, DC, or you need to try this because this is in Warhammer. Or Knights of the Old Republic, or whatever video game, BioShock, Infamous, whatever, they come to me and they bring me feedback. So I take it on as a personal challenge to make these cool items that a lot of people aren't taking the time or don't feel confident enough to make on their own. And I try to create these things that you really can't buy on the store. And so that to me becomes a favorite once I complete it and the person that said they love my product and purchases it, that was actually my favorite.
The way that you're talking, this actually makes it feel like this is not just prop design for you, but it's also an art.
It is. Okay, so I think the world has a situation where they're having trouble with their identity, and I feel that cosplay allows people to come out of themselves and be able to and become confident in what they do and whatever character they're playing, and it also creates so many different experiences and stuff for them. So I think I'm contributing to that. I'm wanting people to actually realize that you don't have to stay self-centered, because when I grew up back in the 80s, man, I couldn't tell people I was a nerd. I'm 6'2", and you play basketball, you play football. Dude, I like that stuff, but man, put me in front of a video game and I'm all day, you know what I mean? So that's kind of my thing. And so nowadays it's not like that so much, and I enjoy that. And it's like a big family here, and that's got to be why I do what I do.
That's fantastic, and I understand that inability to come out, as a nerd, or even the difficulty to really come out as anything different, right?
Gender.
Yes.
People were afraid of doing that back then. Now it's like we used to get beat up if we walked differently or wear our hair differently, or you know what I mean. So it was one of those things that now it's totally different. People respect you for you are, and I think that's pretty awesome, man. We're in a good time right now. It's amazing, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
People are this is definitely a period of discovery for the individual.
Absolutely.
So your helmets here, they are pretty fantastic, and we have gotten a couple shots of them. What's the price range on these?
Okay, so I gotta love what I do, but I gotta get the return on what I love. So in the neighborhood of $75 up to $350.
Say with some confidence. This is your stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, $75 to $350, and I feel like that's a really decent price point, because the inflation has beaten me up too as far as my resins and travel getting here to the shows. I'm in Kansas, so it's a 12-hour drive. You've got fuel and everything, hotel and food
And you're clearly not driving a small car.
No, I've got a big Sprinter, that's got to get me from point A to point B safely. So, there you go. I've got to have that worked into the price a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, this has been very cool. I appreciate you sitting and talking with us, and I appreciate you sitting next to me. So thank you so much.
Eat Sleep Nerd's pretty awesome, man. It's great meeting you guys, and I hope you guys have a great show.
This is Jason with Eat Sleep Nerd, and I'm here with Carol, and she is dressed as some sort of Mandalorian type character. Who are you dressed as today?
An OC, original character named Enigma. She goes through the galaxy and basically hunts any bounties that anyone pays her to do. Her real name is Karis Pone.
Interesting. So you created an entire backstory for this character, or is this somebody that already existed?
Entire backstory done by me.
When did you come up with this character? How long ago?
Probably about 2 years ago now. It was after the Mandalorian Season 2 finale.
Now, there are a bevy, an entire catalog of characters to pick from Star Wars, and even the entire nerd and geek universe. Why did you pick a Mandalorian character?
I wanted to actually be a stormtrooper originally, but then I realized the armor probably wouldn't fit me. So I thought, okay, what's the next best thing? And then that's when the Mandalorian Season 1 came out, and I was like, a Mandalorian. And then I watched the original trilogy again and saw Boba Fett, and I was like, okay, I'm going Mandalorian, because they're basically space cowboys, of course.
They are, aren't they? They got that hip shot, the hip holster, leg holsters, and everything like that, right?
Yeah, yes.
Well, go ahead and throw your helmet on, and let's see you do your Mandalorian thing. All right, and say something special, or give a message out to the Eat Sleep Nerd fans out there.
Y'all are great. You have a great host, and this is the way.
Thank you so much. All right, this is Jason with ESN, and I'm here with Brian and Jeff from the phenomenon of series movies, Clerks. And they just agreed to talk with us today, and thank you so much for talking with us.
Court-appointed public service, we have to do it.
He told us he was with CNN. Is that true?
No, ESN. You must have heard me.
I misunderstood. I got to go.
No, come back here. Come back. So you have a very large cult fan base, a very large following. You guys just came out with Clerks 3. This has been a long ride for you both. Tell us your favorite parts, or what's been the most exciting part of the journey from the early 90s?
Oh, wow. That's a big, wide
that's a loaded
time
question,
span.
yeah.
It's a huge, long time span. You know what? It's been great, the fact that we enjoyed doing way back in 1993 when we filmed it, and it came out in 94, that we were shocked that other people got it as well. And to be honest with you, we're very lucky. But it also got us here to Huntsville, Alabama, 30 years later.
We shot a crappy little movie 76 years ago, and here we are at a con signing autographs. I go home on the plane and I just scratch my head. I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah, the education system in this country's gone to hell.
I am also surprised about this.
All right, cut.
So I just wanted to, I'm sure you get asked all sorts of questions about all sorts of aspects about Clerks and the Clerks universe. What's a question that you guys wish was asked more, or that you wish had been asked at some point?
Do you need another beer? No one ever asks that.
Do we have beer in the bags? We don't have beer in the bags. Sorry.
How about, Jeff, do you want to be paid for these movies? That's a question I never hear.
We were all pretty clear it's been volunteer work.
Yeah, court-appointed.
Right. Thank you both very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Not at all. Thanks for being a part of this. Thanks for coming up. And I see you bought the VIP, the badge, no less. Look at that, Superman.
Hey, man, thanks for having us on your podcast. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
We should probably get 2 more subscribers after this.
That would bring us up to 0.
Right on.
Thanks so much. All right, so I'm Jason with ESN, Eat Sleep Nerd, and I'm stuck here with our newest convict, JR? CJ Ferguson. What did you do?
Well, I was walking down the road. I saw this guy with really shiny, pretty metal, and I thought it matched my coat, so I kind of stuck it in my in my back little satchel. And next thing, I didn't know that Beskar was so expensive.
Yeah. Sometimes time is a little more expensive than money, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. But the good news is only about $13 more and I can make bail. So
That seems a little steep.
it is very steep. It was only 5, and then another lady came by and asked if she could pay more to keep me in here longer. So
Is there a reason why people are wanting you to stay in here longer?
I don't know. I mean, I work for a children's charity called Waiting to Hear. We help deaf children to hear. So I would imagine that they would want me out, but apparently I'm really loud.
I see. And you're dressed very purpley today. Do you have a particular character that you're dressed as?
Well, yeah, myself during my wedding reception. This is what I got for my wedding reception with my wife. So
This is a very, it's a humble flex. I like it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Well, actually, that's not a humble flex.
That's a brumble flex. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Rumble flex.
Well, I wish you best of luck getting your money, and keep working with that charity.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Eat, Sleep, and Nerd.
All right, it's Jason back again with ESN, Eat Sleep Nerd, and today we are talking with Raiy, and you have a pretty fantastic costume. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about your character?
So Raiy Deathgrace, he is a half-breed, which he was born a human, but he has also a dragon soul, so he could turn from human to dragon anytime he wishes to, as long as he feels like he's a dragon. However, as this is kind of a gift, it's a little bit of a curse, he has to hunt demons down in order just to basically go on with life.
Okay, that sounds pretty tragic and very busy. Now, you told me that this was an original character that you designed on your own. Is that correct?
That is correct. Raiy is a anti-hero for our series coming up, known as Half-Breeds, to basically make every religion feel welcome, every sexuality feel welcome in our series.
And when did you come up with this with your character? Your character's name is Raiy, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when did you come up with the character of Raiy, and how long have you been working on developing the story?
So I've worked on Raiy since back in 2014. He was at first a background character for just a little comic book I was making. I was originally going to kill him off, but then I started getting attached to him. I was like, okay, what if I started off with a clean slate and get a backstory on him? And when I did, I loved it even more, so I started to keep him going until what he is now today. He wasn't always blue. He was originally going to be brown, but I was like, no, let's make him blue.
Blue's always a good way to go. Why don't you go ahead and give a favorite quote or a favorite expression of your character out to your fans and followers out there?
Of course. Mortal, you know I could sense you. What's the point of dying out there if you can't even live life to the fullest? I should know that because I'm already dead.
And there you have it. Thanks so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, I am Jason with ESN, and today we're talking with the character Elias. This looks like a rather unique and imposing creature here. Tell us about him.
Elias Ainsworth is a Thorn Mage from the Ancient Magus Bride. He's he lives in England, of course. I can't really explain it in words because he's one of my favorite characters of all. He is very loving, caring. And in the series, if you haven't watched it yet, check out Ancient Magus Bride for a little bit more information because I'm still new to this character. But yeah, he's a dark mage.
So this is clearly an established character. Where did you first encounter the character? How did you first hear about it? And where would viewers find it?
This is from Ancient Magus Bride. You can find this anime on Funimation or Crunchyroll at the current moment. We are still currently waiting. We're very excited for season 2 to come out soon. But it's basically like a kind of like a love story between Elias and Cee. Cee is the human that he bought off of the slavery thing and basically made her his apprentice because Cee has special gifts of her own and Elias wants to help her, train her up so she can use the gift for good.
All right, is this a family-friendly series or is this more for older teens or adults?
I always have to say it's more for older teens and adults. There are some violent moments in this anime, but a really good story intertwines with the characters. I do recommend it for anyone that likes like a dark romance.
Okay. Fantastic. Why don't you go ahead and give us one of your favorite quotes? If not from this character, tell us who it's from, and then tell us the quote.
I have many quotes, sorry, but I can give you one from my OC, Matthew North. So, raise your sword, my man. It's time for us to duel.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I'm scared. And thank you so much for your time. You have a good one.
Thank you as well, Jason. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Jason with ESN, and today we're talking with Ernie and his little entourage here. And you are clearly dressed up as, well, we have Batman here, but also the Ghostbusters.
That's right. Yeah, it's very exciting. It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody. This is our first family gathering as fully dressed up, and we're pretty excited to get to it.
So tell us about your costume, how you put it together, where you got it from.
Our costume is a little bit of different pictures and you know, different internet research and I'm not gonna lie, a lot of buying online. So
like
Daddy
honesty.
gets in trouble a lot for that, but yeah, it's taken a little bit of time and a little bit of work. We've added our own little personal touches to different things and different equipment, and so we're excited. It's really cool. It's an awesome hobby to do, and as a dad, one that actually wants to dress up, it's completely exciting. So I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, definitely having kids allows you to kind of re-experience your childhood and gives you reasons to go ahead and do things like this.
That's it. It's nice to relive everything. It really is. So it's I get to live through them again.
That's just fantastic. Now, I do know that there's a somewhat moderate-sized Ghostbuster group in the Huntsville area. Is that anything that you're familiar with or that you're part of?
I am not part of the Huntsville one, but I do associate with the Tennessee Ghostbusters group. So they're actually out of Franklin. So it's a pretty good group. Phil is one of our big guys. He's the one that orchestrated it and stuff like that. So, you know, matter of fact, we'll see them at Nashville Comic-Con, so which is going to be fun.
Very cool. Is there a social media link that we can point everybody to your particular group?
All you have to do is just look up Tennessee Ghostbusters and everything will pop right up.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for talking with us, and you guys look great. Have fun. Okay, and good afternoon. And today we are talking with, it looks like Fennec and a clone trooper. Are you a particular clone trooper?
Captain Rex.
Captain who?
Captain Rex.
Captain Rex. Very good. Okay. So why did you pick Fennec for this convention?
So last convention I came as Mandalorian, and as you can see from a full body suit is a little bit harder to maneuver in. So this time I wanted to pick one of my favorite characters that was still easy to move around with, since I will be going with someone who can't really move around well.
Got it. Sounds practical. And why did you come as Captain Rex?
Well, she actually brought it up to me if I was interested to go, and Captain Rex is by far my favorite Star Wars character, and she offered to make the entire suit for me to borrow and use, and I'm amazing, and that's why.
Very cool. What did you make the suit out of?
It is all 3D printed with the select pieces of fabric as well. I had a friend help me out with.
That's very cool. Very cool. You guys look great. Hope you have fun.
Thank you. You too.
Right now we're here with Wayne. You're with the 501st?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes, I'm with the 501st and the Rebel Legion.
Okay. What is your primary role with this 501st?
We're a Star Wars costuming group. Our main goal is to use our costumes for good. We do a lot of work with like conventions, charity events. Like today we were raising money for I'm blanking on the name unfortunately, but it's always a good cause.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple different costumes, but a lot of times I'm usually driving one of the droids.
That's really awesome. Now, yesterday I saw you driving this guy around. Now, this is Chopper, right?
Yeah, this is Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. He's a little tricky to drive. From Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon show that came on in, I believe, 2015 through 2017.
Very cool. Now, did you make this by yourself, or was this pre-assembled? How did this come about?
Various droid builders have been starting to create files for the various parts, the head, the legs, the torso. I basically did a lot of digging, found the files, and just started printing them on my CR10s. So basically I just had this giant pile of parts, and then glued them together, did the finishing work, and then did all the wiring to make them work.
Well, that's pretty phenomenal. It looks really great. I know yesterday you were talking about the difference between using plastic and plywood.
Yeah, so my R2-D2 is a plywood skeleton with an aluminum dome, and this guy here is fully 3D printed. And depending on your budget or what tools people are happy working with, I've seen R2s made we'll use R2 as a vague term. I've seen droids made out of pure styrene. I've seen people make them fully out of aluminum. So it's what you're happy working with. So this droid is PETG, which is a high temp, high strength printable plastic, and it works well. But you hear the little creaks and stuff. So later on, I'm hoping to reinforce it here with different printed components, or certain key structural things will be replaced with plywood.
Is this Chopper's first outing?
Actually, no. So he came out in 2019, the year before the pandemic, and no one knew who he was because everyone's like, it looks like R2, but he's orange. And I guess either the kids who watched Rebels have grown up, or everybody binged the show during the plague, because everybody this weekend's been, it's Chopper, it's our favorite war criminal.
That's fun and dark. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. You have a wonderful afternoon.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Robert, you are with the Huntsville 501st Legion, is that correct?
That's correct, and Tranquility Base of the Rebel Legion.
Very cool. So you're a Rebel Lieutenant. You actually have ranks.
Well, I'm actually, yes, I'm the commanding officer of the Alabama Garrison and Tranquility Base, so yeah.
That's pretty cool. And your rank is Lieutenant?
No, it's commanding officer.
Commanding officer. Okay, that's the actual rank. Okay, all right. So how long have you been with this 501st?
2015, I believe.
So you've been with them for a while.
Yeah.
What would you say is one of the best aspects of this organization?
So we do a lot of charity work with like Make-A-Wish, Autism Society of Alabama. We do a lot of walks for like cystic fibrosis and stuff like that. Raising money, putting smiling faces on sad kids and stuff like that. So, yeah.
That's really awesome. I didn't realize that the 501st did all that.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. Who is your favorite Star Wars or character that would fit into the 501st scheme?
501st would probably be Darth Vader. But like Rebel Legion, definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's the best.
He is the GOAT, as they say.
Oh, yeah, greatest of all time.
Right, exactly. Well, hello there. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, I'm Jason with ESN, and we have the honor to go ahead and talk with Omid Abtahi today, which we all know from Dr. Pershing from the Mandalorian series. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So we'll keep this topical to the Mandalorian because that's what everybody's really fascinated and excited about right now. Tell us about the process of getting the role of Dr. Pershing and what that experience was like.
Yeah, it's a funny story because I was working on American Gods in Canada, so I was on East Coast time, right? And it was 1 a.m. and I was probably on my second REM cycle, and I get this call from my agent, and it's from an agent that doesn't usually call me. He's like the head agent. So, as an actor, when your agent's calling you that late, it's either really good news or it's really, really bad news. So I thought I was getting fired from American Gods. Because I'm just insecure and I, immediately go to the bad. Anyways, I picked up the phone, full asleep. I was passed out, and I hear my agent go blah 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 blah, Untitled Jon Favreau project, blah 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 blah. And I was like, what? I was like, can you say that again? He's like, blah 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 blah, Untitled Jon Favreau project, blah blah blah. I couldn't understand what he was saying, and so I was like there lying, one eye open, Googling Untitled Jon Favreau project. And it said it's a new Star Wars series for a new Disney streaming platform. And I was like, wait, this is Star Wars? And he's like, yeah. I was like, come on, get out of here, man. I was like, what do they want me to audition for? They're like, no, they're offering you the role. I was like,
that's really cool.
Get out of here. I was like, hey, listen, this is a dream. Why don't we hang up? Why don't you call me in the morning when I'm fully awake? And then you can tell me this all over again. And he did, and it honestly fell into my lap, if I'm being honest, and it was the coolest thing that could possibly happen to me. So yeah.
So you had the one thing happen to any person who's dreaming of being an actor happen. It just fell into your lap in this case.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's probably because they saw my work in other stuff, so it's not like I have them.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That makes a lot of sense too. Yeah. So do the work first, and then things like this can happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Not complete luck.
Right. Yeah. So just give us a brief overview of what the experience of working The Mandalorian was like, working with all these other actors that actually have come into the spotlight because of the series, including yourself.
Yeah. Listen, man, I don't have the words to describe how awesome it is. I struggle with that question often, but all I can tell you is like when I work on it, and I'm not alone. And we start early, on the show, but like I show up an hour early every day, and I take a walk, and I take my coffee, and I walk around the lot, and I watch the sets being rolled in. I watch the crew going through their morning meetings. I watch everybody, all the crews wearing like their Star Wars fans. Star Wars shirts, like because everyone's a genuine fan, and that's such a cool feeling. And the magic of Star Wars and filmmaking and TV making, it's just like I embrace it. And like I won't go to my dressing room between sets. I'll go behind the stage and I'll see how are these buttons that are all over Star Wars. How are they made? Like what's behind them?
Yeah.
So I fully want to absorb the magic of what we do. So I'm just a kid in a candy store is the best way I can put it.
So you're living a fan's best life right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, well, we're all really jealous, but also really happy for you. Why don't you share one of your favorite Star Wars quotes with us right now, whether it be from your character or from any other character?
Favorite Star Wars quote? I can't, look. No. I know the moment, and I don't know if it's verbatim. But what does Obi-Wan tell Anakin in Revenge of the Sith? It was something like, I loved you, right?
Yeah. I loved you. You were my brother.
Yes, that's what got me. And I'm sorry if I don't know it verbatim, but that moment really like hit me hard.
I think that hit a lot of fans hard. That was a good one. Yeah. That's a good quote. Thank you very much for talking with us today. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
I'm Jason with ESN, and we're back at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Expo, and we are talking with the Werner von Braun chapter of Starfleet in Huntsville, Alabama. And today we are with
Richard Trulson.
Richard, and tell us about your organization and its main mission right now.
Okay, well, basically we're a group of Star Trek fans that get together to have fun. But unlike, a lot of fan organizations, we do like to get together and try to make the world a better place. So our primary goal is, just to have fun. So we get together once a month for our general business meetings. And then we also try to do one other fun activity a month, like a potluck picnic or a miniature golf outing or something like that. So just get together, have fun, and then, like I said, try to make the world a better place by doing the occasional community service project.
That's really fascinating that you guys are doing that work while you're having fun doing it. Exactly. How long have you been with the organization?
Well, I've been with Starfleet since 1993 or something like that. I've been with this chapter of Starfleet since 1995. We're celebrating our 30th anniversary this year.
That's really exciting. So there's still a lot of interest and a lot of fan base to keep Starfleet in Huntsville going.
Definitely, especially with all the new Star Trek series coming out on Paramount Plus and everything like that. Picard just wrapped up its third season, and that everyone loves it. I mean, I have not heard bad things about it at all from the fans. We all loved it.
So what would you rank right now as your two top Star Trek series that are currently running or have recently run?
Well, that's currently running. It may seem like it's a child show, but, first one would definitely be Strange New Worlds. I mean, it's fantastic. It feels like Star Trek. It's exciting. It tackles the hard subjects. It's classic Star Trek. And the other one that actually sort of feels like a child show, and it's on Nickelodeon, and that's Star Trek Prodigy. But it is good Star Trek.
I've certainly heard really good things about Star Trek Prodigy, and original voice actors from the original series have been lending their voices to this series, correct?
Yes, Kate Mulgrew, who plays now Admiral Janeway, is in the series. They've also had a few others show up as well.
So by bringing these voice actors in, they're of course adding legitimacy to this series that's just a kid's show.
Definitely, and I don't necessarily think that it adds legitimacy to it, but it definitely ties it in and makes it feel like a part of Star Trek, because until Lower Decks came out, Star Trek was more a live-action thing, but now that they got two cartoon series. One that's aimed more for kids, another one that's more adult humor.
All right. And that is, of course, Lower Decks.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
Yes, it's enjoyable.
All right, so let's hear your favorite Star Trek quote as we close this up.
Boldly go.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This is ESN, and here we are with Ian. And he is dressed as... Actually, I'm going to let you tell us who and what you're dressed as today.
So today I am the 11th Doctor, played by Matt Smith on Doctor Who from 2009 to 2013. And this particular variant I'm going with today is the Angels Take Manhattan variant. You can always tell which episode it is based on which combination of shirt and bow tie he's using, or even suspenders. The reason they do that is for production reasons. They would shoot like all the TARDIS scenes in one go, and they would just change out the shirt and tie as needed, and then so the editors will see like, oh, he's wearing that combination, so it's to go to this episode, So I liked the Angels one just because I found this Oxford shirt, Oxford weave. It's more of a dogtooth versus a basket Oxford, but it still gives that same sheen, that same look. I modified it accordingly. Like I took the pocket off because none of his shirts have pockets. I took that fabric and I added a collar tab to make it more screen accurate. I tried to find a grenadine weave bow tie from Sweden. That's the only place that even had one that was remotely close. I have the screen accurate watch, which is the USSR vintage Seconda from like the 70s or 80s. The pants are the screen accurate G-Star 3301s, and the boots are Stacy Adams. They're not the custom ones that were made, but they are very close enough. Like they have the same cap toe stitch, they have the same lacing pattern, etc. So for my budget reasons, it's close enough. And then I found the jacket in a thrift store and had it modified a little bit, and added the screen accurate buttons, to. It's not like 110%, but for my purposes, it helps achieve the look. And of course, to cap it all off, the sonic screwdriver.
You can't be the Doctor without the sonic screwdriver. Now, I will say that when you came over, I clearly knew who you were. So nicely done with those extra touches and that extra flair for the costume.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like for me, now some of my costumes I do go all out. Like for my 50th anniversary 11th Doctor, I did get some of the fabric from the UK that was still left over from the rolls that made Matt's shirts and bow ties. So it's not just a replica, it's a sibling. But depending on what I can get and what's available, like a lot of these fabrics are gone. Like there's no getting them, they're never going to re-reeve them. So in light of that, I try to find just close enoughs. A lot of people just really, and I get it, not all cosplaying is created equal, and not everyone should be held to super high standards. Like if you just want to throw some stuff on because that's what you enjoy and it's what you can afford. But for me, I like to at least try to meticulously research every last little piece of clothing and try to find something that is at least within the ballpark if I can't get the exact stuff. Because that way it'll sell the illusion far better than just, I found just some $5 stuff and threw it on and hope somebody recognizes it, Because like you said, you recognized what I was because it helps sell that look better.
It really did. And you look very dapper and you look very nice today. Why don't you go ahead and give us one of your favorite quotes out to our ESN podcast and YouTube fans?
I mean, obviously the best speech would be the Rings of Akaton, but I'm not wearing the proper garb for that. I guess I'll just do a simple Geronimo.
Excellent. Thanks so much for your time. We are here with Kat, and you have a pretty fantastic costume here. Unfortunately, I'm not very familiar with this kind of universe that you're dressed up as, so tell us who you are.
Roy from Fire Emblem The Binding Blade. It's Fire Emblem, the tactical series made by Nintendo and Intelligent Systems. This was the 6th game made in the series, and he is more commonly known for his appearance in the game Super Smash Bros.
Gotcha, which is a very popular game, of course.
Yes, and he was the second one put in Melee that was removed in Brawl and then added as DLC in Smash 4, and he's now in Ultimate. He is kind of the heavier hitter version of Marth with the flaming sword, known as the Binding Blade.
Why did you select this character to dress up as for this convention?
So I had made Roy because I'm a huge fan of Fire Emblem, maybe my favorite Fire Emblem or my favorite game series.
and I like to play Roy in Smash, and I really enjoyed his game, FE6, or Fire Emblem 6. And I had 2 other friends here that were cosplayed as Sigurd, the Lord of Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, and Dimitri, which is one of the lords of one of the newest games, Fire Emblem Three Houses. And the voice actor for the direct rival of Dimitri, Edelgard, is Tara Platt, who was here. So we came together, the 3 of us, to get photos together and then get autographs from Tara Platt.
Did you have you already met with Tara?
Yes, I was also picking up for a couple of friends, so I got 2 Edelgard prints for them, which is the name of her character from Fire Emblem Three Houses, and then I got one for her as Mitsuru Kirijo from Persona 3, who she voices, which I also have a cosplay of the main character from Persona 3.
I am familiar with the Persona universe. I'm a big fan of Persona 5, and I've really enjoyed that. So your sword does look like that you made it yourself, but it does look amazing. How did you make that sword?
I got some help. It is like there's a person. It's paper mache, mainly paper mache, and then just a hard coated and painted. He's mainly the expert in it. I kind of gave like tips and just stuff. He's one of the more who made it. I just wanted this. It's just the detail he put into it. I'm highly impressed. He's also made Ike's blade, Ragnell, for my friend. So he's made multiple blades.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. We really appreciate it. You have a wonderful afternoon. All right, so we're still walking around and finding people in amazing cosplay costumes today, and we have found ourselves a Master Chief, and this is Derrick. Talk to us about your suit today.
Well, it has armor. I walk around a little bit slowly, but sometimes it'll come apart, so I often go to the medics section to get it repaired.
Are you enjoying being Master Chief today?
Yes, in fact, this is a new cosplay that I came up with just right about now.
Very cool. Now, is this something that you put together yourself? Is this a combination of things that you bought offline and that you made yourself? How'd you put the costume together?
Actually, I just bought this. Sometimes I gotta put certain pieces on the body to close in on it together.
So while you're putting your gloves on, Halo has been a part of many people's lives for quite some time, starting from when the first games came out, and of course it's become a cultural phenomenon, clearly because as people are dressing up as Master Chief. How long have you been a fan, and why did you feel like Master Chief was the right answer for today?
Yeah, it's because of a science fiction series. It's one of the greatest franchises next to Mario, The Legend of Zelda, and Sonic the Hedgehog.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, this suit looks great. Are you from this area?
No, I am from Memphis, Tennessee, but born in Natchez, Mississippi.
Well, welcome to Huntsville. I hope you're having fun. Yeah, go ahead, throw that helmet on, and let's take a look. This is a Master Chief right here. Very nice, very nice. Your weapon looks completely real, by the way. I'm terrified of it.
So that was it. That was it.
Yes.
That was a lot of really cool people. That were a lot of really cool people.
There
were
some cool people in those videos.
And what I realized watching that back is that nerds look out for each other. Like all these people are super excited about helping us grow our podcast, just like we're excited about helping them grow a following if they don't already have one. So like they're just so cool. And like multiple of them called out the Eat Sleep Nerd fans for how awesome they are. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you.
Cheers. People are realizing how awesing you guys are.
Right.
Did you just hold up a
Yeah, you were cheersing with your thing, and I wanted to be a part.
All right.
I'm cheersing with my iron flask.
Iron flask.
So yes, we if it was not clear in these videos, Jason was not really sure what to say most of the time.
Yeah.
But you did a great job.
Well, we had fun.
Yeah, we did the thing.
We did the thing. So, and I would also like to say, these are not. We're going to get better at these. So
I hope we don't get worse.
No, gosh, right. So if you're not a fan, like if we interviewed you and you're not a fan of how it turned out, we tried our best on this one. Sorry, but it was all.
Was this our best?
At the time, yes. Now is no longer our
Could have been
best
better
because we learned.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Really?
You gotta get
Are we
better
having
and
to
better.
deal with this guy? Do you hear this guy
I
over
know.
here?
He's old Debbie Downer.
Right?
Did you see the compilation video I made? It was awesome.
That was fun.
But
we need to link that in this one too to that.
There's no I in team, Corey.
But there is a me.
There is.
Yes.
And it's all me.
Well, it's really, if you go
Which
like chronologically, it'd be M, which would also be short for them.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because Jason was the only one pictured in these interviews. The rest of us were not on
Okay,
front of the-
and just to be clear, I offered, like, I didn't want to be the only one doing these, but they're like, no, you do it. I'm like, okay.
But then again, yeah, you were doing so great.
You were.
I had fun. I really had fun, and I really enjoyed meeting all these people. And Corey's right. Everybody was really great. Everybody wanted to talk about, of course, they want to talk about what they're doing. Whether it be the cosplay, whether it be their acting, whether it be the product that they're creating and making. But they were all genuinely nice and all very genuine about who they were.
Yes.
And that is probably the best part of this experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I wish Josh was here so he
Yeah.
could talk about his experience on cosplaying.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he dealt with a lot of like making his own Iron Man suits.
Yeah, back in college, Josh was all about like making an Iron Man suit. He got pretty far into it before he kind of went on to something else.
Yeah.
He was all about making Batman costumes and a bunch of stuff over the years. Yeah, he was all about the cosplay.
Yeah.
That's
He
cool.
wore a cowl one time. That was pretty cool.
He still has a cowl.
Yeah. Yes, he has the Batfleck cowl, right? Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yep.
It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And so coming out of this expo, we are more excited than ever to go back to another expo. So we're already making plans.
Yes.
For other live events we can do. We're looking at Nashville. We're looking at Birmingham. We're looking at Atlanta. All this year. So we'll see where we can show up and interview some more unsuspecting people.
And show out.
I mean, maybe.
I mean,
I get what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Have
show up
fun.
with more mics, more cameras, more swag.
Just more.
more things.
Right.
Yes.
Of all the things,
And we'll
all the
have
words, right.
questions prepared ahead of time.
Yes, and like the way that I anticipate, like envision this was like I would ask a question, it would be the same question to each person, and so like in the video, it would be me or somebody asking that question, and then all the answers. Like you wouldn't cut back to me or whoever; it would just be all their answers. And I didn't do that. I didn't set it up that way.
Yeah, we need a
right
continuing thread.
Right, something that's consistent across the board.
And that's kind of what I did with my blooper reel.
Right.
It was mostly just you saying cut.
Cut. Can we edit that? So this is already a long video, so we could keep talking about it, but you know we'll let you go now. But thank you so much for watching.
Yes, thank you so much. We hope we can run into each other again at future expos. If we have not interviewed you, hunt us down next time we're in person at something. We'll put you on camera.
Yeah.
We'll put a microphone in your face. Maybe
Also,
two.
if you have a favorite con that you'd like us to be at and experience, let us know right in the comments.
And my long-term plan is for us to go to San Diego Comic-Con once we get our feet wet.
SDCC.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for everybody to who we talked to and for everyone watching this video. You guys are awesome. Nerds are awesome. Take care. See you guys later.
Bye.